Welcome back indeed. So I said this morning I would be coming back again, and here I am. So never mind. So DJ DH here in Electric, and news for you. And it's another complaint from me. I'm sorry I keep complaining, but there's so much going wrong in our country today. Wow, it's astonishing. I'm going to talk to you about the police cover-up. Yes, a recent police cover-up, and it's of alleged they cover up the alleged ethnicity of child rapists. Yes, very sort of damning report here, and it's still happening. Just last week, Nuneaton police tried to hide the identity of an Afghan asylum seeker. He's been arrested, but they have to say suspected, of course, until it's proven in court, but of raping a 12-year-old little girl, this Afghan asylum seeker. And their pathetic excuse for covering up the ethnicity, got it right that time, of these men was, once someone is charged, we follow the national guidance. Now, I'm going to come back to that national guidance in a few moments, but why is there even a discussion of whether the police and government should reveal the ethnicity and the immigration status of people who are suspected of and are being charged of a crime? Why are we even discussing it? It shouldn't be. It should be a given. It should be a given. Give us the full facts, But they won't, will they? They cover it up. Why do they cover it up? Well, we don't seem to have learnt the lessons that were laid before us. They were laid out before us of all these, for decades, Pakistani rape gangs. I mean, they even called them grooming gangs, just so it didn't sound so bad. And they covered up they were Pakistani. They covered up there was Islamics. They covered up there were Muslims. They wouldn't let us know. And so it continued and it continued and it continued. And we've got the thousands of young British girls were raped, drugged, abused, physically and mentally, because they covered it up. And still it goes on. The police and local authorities and even successive governments tried to hide the ethnicity of those Pakistani Muslim men. And they were allowed to keep on raping, torturing and wrecking the lives of vulnerable young women for as long as they did, because no one wanted to offend the Muslim community, or lose their vote in some cases, by not telling the public the ethnicity of these monsters. They're nothing less. Warwickshire police excuse for this recent one of this Afghanistan immigrant asylum seeker who raped, allegedly, a 12-year-old girl. The Warwickshire police's excuse is absolutely pathetic. Their pathetic excuse for covering up the ethnicity of these men was, once someone is charged, this is what they said, and I'm quoting them, once someone is charged, we follow the national guidance. Yet I've checked the national guidance. The national guidance of the Royal College of Policing makes absolutely no mention, I'll repeat that the national guidance of the Royal College of Policing makes absolutely no mention of whether forces should declare race, ethnicity or immigration status. And on top of that, Warwickshire Police, they told local councils, local officials, not to reveal the suspects' backgrounds for fear of inflaming community tensions. So it would appear that Warwickshire Police are being disingenuous, if not outright lying, to the public. Police chiefs across the country don't understand what's inflaming the community tensions. Our tensions are being inflamed at the behest of these politicians because the police are literally lying to the public who pay their wages. What about the tensions being caused by the fact that hordes of young, unvetted men who do not share our values or our culture are being parachuted into our communities that don't really want them, who don't rightly want them? They don't want them in their communities. And I say quite rightly because out of control immigration is fueling crime, particularly sex crime. In the last couple of weeks alone, we've had an asylum seeker from Sudan arrested for trying to kidnap a 10-year-old little girl who was actually with her father. There was the Epping incident when an asylum seeker was accused of sexually assaulting a 12-year-old girl, another 12-year-old girl. So you can see why concerned parents might be angry or upset that the police are willfully trying to hide who these people are who are molesting and raping and abusing their children. Because what they're feeling is this government and our policies, their policies, our police forces are against them and their families. We can't keep ignoring this, surely. Just a reminder, I was looking up then, our communities, they feel the authorities, the police and the government have taken a side. And it's not our side. It's not their side. Instead, they're on the side of the foreign alleged sex offenders who wouldn't even be here if they should be firmly on the side of the women and young girls these men are accused of raping and abusing. Keir Starmer doesn't say much. He doesn't say much, that's right. But this week, even he admitted and said police officers should reveal the immigration status of suspected offenders. I'm not sure whether he means it. I think it's more to do with the fact that Nigel Farage of Reform Party has said it, and it's chiming with voters. So Starmer, who hasn't original thought in his head at I'm sure at sometimes, is jumping on his bandwagon. Look at me, I agree with Nigel Farage. The police should. Whatever his reasons, police must take heed, because it's them who are inflaming community tensions by hiding the truth from the people in those communities who have every right to know who is attacking their women and children. People in this country have had enough of being lied to over immigration. They've had enough of being branded racist and bigots or far right because they dare to voice their concerns that this hopeless government has lost control of its borders. That's why they've taken to the streets in protest. These people aren't right-wing thugs, as Starmer would have us believe. They're worried, they're angry, many of whom are parents who feel their government and their police forces have abandoned them to protect criminals and sex abusers who shouldn't be here in the first place. And yes, they're furious, and they're being lied to in order to hide the catastrophic consequences of this government's inability to control our borders. This government and the police don't want migrant crime to be held up to scrutiny. What it needs to be. It's not racist to be concerned about migrant crime and to want to know the impact it's having on our society. We already know there are 10,772 foreign nationals in Britain's prisons, which amounts to 1 in 8 and amounts to 1 in 8 of our prison population, which is currently at 87,919. More than 1 in 10 sex offenders is a new immigrant. Even more shocking, a quarter of all sex offenders in the UK are foreign nationals. A quarter, 25% are foreign nationals, but they only make up 5% of the population. So yes, people have a right to know exactly who it is that's destroying our communities, contributing to the rocketing crime statistics and abusing our women and our children. Yes, 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 they do. They have a particular right to be furious that people who shouldn't be here and who are British, of whom British taxpayers are paying their housing, clothing them and feeding them, are sticking two fingers up to us all, committing crimes and abusing our hospitality. So yes, we need accurate data on migrant crime. We have it on all other areas and aspects of crime, so why not migrant crime? Well, we know. I've already mentioned it, haven't I? Votes, votes, votes. Because for too long, ministers have failed to tell us the truth about the risk of migration that it poses to the public. For years, we've been told it's essential, it's beneficial, that we need it to survive, when we know that's not true. It's not true. Maybe we need some immigration, but we don't need hordes of young men who are descending on us from the Sahara Africa. I keep hearing the liberals, the liberal left, saying, what difference does it make knowing the immigration status of a suspected criminal? Everyone is innocent until guilty. Well, the reason we need to know is that if and when they are proven guilty, we can deport them immediately. They don't deserve our hospitality, our compassion and our leniency. To think they do is wrongful thinking. If they are harming our women and children, raping our women and children, stealing, breaking up, act violently, we don't want them. And it is stupid to think we should be opening our arms and welcoming them as they take advantage of us. It is not a Christian trait. No. I don't care how many of these left-wing, communist-style Christian, so-called Christians speak on this and say, oh, welcome refugees, welcome, welcome. Let them take them into their homes. They don't want them in their own homes. They want them in your home. It is absolutely ridiculous. It is hypocrisy at its highest. It's vital we know the impact of migrant crime on our communities. And if migrants are committing crimes, then they must not be allowed to come here, stay here and claim asylum. No. And if it offends some people, tough. I suspect it doesn't offend the majority who've had enough of this government's lies and incompetency over immigration. Not just this government, the one before it as well. Is there a way out? Is there a way we can foresee? Well, we've got to start denying entry. If they've thrown their papers away and say, oh, look, I'm stateless, so you've got to house me. The answer is, why? Why? You threw your papers away. Why have we got to house you? You brought it upon yourselves. You came through peaceful countries. Most of you come over from France. It's a peaceful country. Why do you need to come to Britain? Well, I'll tell you why. Because we give the most benefits. We're the ones who house you up in 5-star hotels. We're the ones who give you pocket money. We're the ones who feed you. We're the ones who give you bicycles. We're the ones who give you telephones. Over and above, far over and above what we're prepared to give to our own people, our own homeless people, our own pensioners who have worked their lives to pay taxes and national insurance and then are neglected to pay you, the immigrant, the illegal immigrant, the boat people. It's got to stop. And that is how you stop it. We just say no. Stop them as they come across the channel. Blockade them. I know if it was going the other way, France would, they'd blockade. We've seen the strikes they have in France to get their own way. Well, let us get our own way for a time, because we owe it to our young girls. We owe it to our young ladies, and we owe it to our wives, our mothers, our cousins and our nieces. Comment. Make your comments known to me. Press that subscribe button. It doesn't cost you a penny, nor a cent, not even a rupee. It's totally free. So press that subscribe button and make your comments known. And press the like button. Why not? None of these things cost you anything whatsoever, but it encourages me. Perhaps you don't want to encourage me. Who knows? So until the next one, be safe, be good, and make your comments known. Bye for now. Bye.